There might not be a better time to be looking for a new job in the tri-state. The unemployment rate in Cincinnati in November was 3.5%. That ties the April mark for the lowest rate since 2001. National unemployment is at a 49-year low. Leverage has shifted towards potential employees now. The Economics Center of the University of Cincinnati recently put out new numbers on the hottest job sectors in the tri-state. 9 on Your Side business reporter Dan Monk took a closer look at these numbers and certainly want to thank you for joining us.
Sure.
What is the job sector that needs the most workers right now?
I would say it's the restaurant industry based on the UC data that we looked at. We asked them to come up with the sectors of the labor market that have the most acute shortages, and the restaurant food service industry has 18,000 jobs available annually and only 2,700 people looking in that sector. So that's like 6.7 times. It's the biggest sector, probably the lowest wage sector of all of the markets where the labor is tight. But there are more than a dozen sectors where you're seeing very acute shortages.
Is construction among them?
No, actually.
Really?
I was surprised,
okay.
yeah.
Yeah, because I've had conversations with folks who say they don't have enough people.
Yeah, I've heard that
hire.
too. But according to this data, if you compare the number of annual openings, which, I mean, you could have 3 openings for one job because in professions with high turnover, they count the number of times you have to hire somebody, essentially. So if you fill the same job 3 times, that's 3 openings. And if you compare the number of people looking in that sector, that number is actually greater than the number of people who will be hired.
Okay, so we know construction isn't there, but what are some of the others that are high on the list?
Well, there's some healthcare jobs, home health aides,
that's where there's a
nursing.
Job explosion.
Exactly, right. And so that's one sector where the market's real tight right now. Some office jobs, bookkeeping, accounting, that kind of thing, believe it or not, is one area where it's more than 3 times the number of people looking are actual jobs available. And then just anecdotally, you know, everybody always says IT jobs are in scarce supply, but one job that you don't really think about is advanced manufacturing. A lot of the new factories have these machines that require software coding, so you have to have some programming skill in order to work them. And
so those folks are in high demand.
Exactly. It's a skill set that not a lot of people have.
Okay. So in your article, you talked about job ghosting. What exactly is that for the person out there who might not know?
That's where you walk away from a job without notifying somebody, essentially.
And that's happening?
It's happening more and more because of the tight labor market, that's right.
Because there's so much availability out there and employees can go somewhere else if they find something better?
Right, and a lot of cases, like with Taste of Belgium, we interviewed Jean-Francois Flechette, who said that a lot of restaurants will hire somebody, and as a condition of being hired, they say, well, don't give your 2-week notice elsewhere. Well, that causes some other restaurant to lose their employee immediately. So there are a lot of reasons people ghost, but essentially what it is you leave the job either for another job or because you're not happy there, and then you don't tell anybody about it.
Wow. All right. Dan, really appreciate your insight as always, and no one knows the Cincinnati business scene better than Dan Monk, we should say that, and you can find more of his reporting on WCPO.com. Thanks again.